Hi everyone. So your first assignment is going to be on the theme of light. So light is foundational to photography. Actually, the word photography is taken from the Greek words for drawing and light. That is, drawing with light. Great photographers are people who know how to use light, or they can see how light is transforming a scene from ordinary to extraordinary. I think this photo by William Eggleston called Glass on Airplane is a really good example. This isn't so much a photo of light itself, like we don't see the light source in this photo, as much as it is a photo about what light does. One thing it's doing is creating this really interesting repetition from that shadow that's being cast on the tray. It's also creating really interesting contrast. Those shadows behind the glass really make the glass itself stand out, and then that bright light on the tray makes the shadow stand out. So for your first assignment, you'll be finding and taking pictures of environments where light is doing interesting things. So here are some tips. 1, take pictures outside during the hours around sunrise or sunset. This is what's known as the golden hour. You're more likely to find interesting long shadows that add depth and texture to your scenes when the sun is low in the sky. Next, look for contrast. So photographing a scene where there are highlights and shadows can just add that natural contrast to your image. And again, that's a little bit easier when the sun is low in the sky. So we're not learning how to use flash in this class, but you're absolutely allowed to use your own light source for this. It can be the flashlight on your phone or a desk lamp, anything that can create interesting shadows, contrast, shapes, anything like that. You can look for reflections. Light can do really interesting things when it's reflecting off of shiny surfaces. Okay, so here's what I'm not interested in. Pictures of light bulbs, pictures of lampposts, pictures of traffic lights. In general, I'm not interested in pictures of light sources themselves. This is an assignment about what light does. So if you're photographing a sunset, consider turning around 180 degrees and looking at what the sun is doing to that scene, what kinds of shadows and contrast and textures it's creating. You're also using this assignment to get a handle on ISO. It's one of those 3 kind of technical fundamentals that we've talked about before. Now I've told you where to set your shutter and your aperture just for this assignment. Your shutter is at 1/100th of a second and your aperture is at f8. Again, it's totally fine if you don't know what those mean yet. You'll just be setting that ISO either up or down depending on the scene that you're in. If you're in a dark environment like indoors, maybe at night, you're going to need a higher ISO to make that work. If you're outside during the day in bright conditions, a lower ISO is probably what you need. I really recommend that you don't do this assignment inside at night. Maybe you can do part of the assignment at night, but really you should aim for doing this assignment during the day outdoors. So start by formatting your card, so you have a clean card, nothing else on it, and then take at least 50 pictures. And that might seem like a lot, but you only need to turn in 5. Really, the more pictures you take, the better. The more you're hitting that shutter button, the more comfortable you're getting with your camera, and the better your pictures will be. Save your photos from your camera onto your external hard drive using Bridge with the technique that we learned in a different video. Use Bridge to select the photos that you want, those 5 favorites that you want to turn in, open them in Photoshop, convert them to black and white, and then save those black and white photos into a different folder, that submissions folder. That's where you put all of your photos that you're ready to submit for the class. So good luck and have fun.